But in exile. In the grand halls of the capital city lived a man named Shi. His mind was as sharp as a sword, and his words flowed like a river, full of wit and wisdom. He served the emperor and wrote poetry that everyone loved. But some in the court did not like his ideas. They saw his truth as a challenge to their power. One day, a message arrived. Shi was to be sent away, far from the city he loved. His friends were sad, his enemies were pleased. He was no longer a grand official, but an exile, a man without a home. He journeyed to a place called Huangzhou. It was not like the capital. There were no grand halls, no fine silks, only a small, simple hut and a field of empty land. At first, he felt a great emptiness. His old life was gone, and he was alone. But Shi was not a man to be broken. He looked at the empty land and saw not a failure, but a new beginning. He picked up a hoe, something he had never done before, and began to work the soil. He was no longer a poet of the court, but a farmer of the earth. He learned to cook with the simplest things. The pork that was too cheap for the rich became his favorite. He simmered it slowly until it was tender and fragrant. He called it dongpo pork, and it was a dish born not of luxury, but of patience and care. The world around him, once a blur of political worries, now came into sharp focus. He saw the moon rise over the river, the bamboo sway in the wind, and the mist cling to the mountains. The quiet life filled his heart with new ideas. With his heart full, he began to write again. His poems were no longer about the court or the emperor, but about the simple beauty of a meal, the quiet strength of a tree, and the peace of a life lived slowly. These were his greatest works, born not of power, but of freedom. The world had exiled Shi, but in doing so it had given him a gift. It had taken away his titles and his power, but it had given him back his own life. He had found beauty in the simple things, and freedom in a place he never expected to find it. And so, the poet in exile became the poet of the people. He had learned that true greatness is not found in grand halls or powerful positions, but in the quiet strength of a heart that can find a home anywhere.